Going to get things started here shortly with some opening remarks, after which we'll take questions. As always, for those of you who have questions, if you will, raise your hand and allow us time to get a microphone to you. After the Q&A is finished, Chancellor Beverly Davenport will be available informally off to the side here for some interviews. And with that, I'll bring up Tennessee Vice Chancellor and Director of Athletics, John Currie.
Thank you very much for being here today. Since I returned to Knoxville last spring, hardly a week has passed that someone has not asked me or shared their personal feelings, insight, or opinions about the 2014 decision to minimize the use of the Lady Vols logo and moniker in favor of an emphasis on the official logo and symbol of the University of Tennessee, the Power T. Since our respective appointments, Chancellor Davenport and I have been very deliberate about finding opportunities to listen to the different perspectives and opinions on the subject, while also endeavoring to understand the reasons for and ramifications of that decision on all UTAD constituencies. We wanted to gauge the feelings of current Tennessee students and student athletes, as well as the university community and alumni, Lady Vol alumni athletes, donors, fans, colleagues throughout intercollegiate athletics, and gender equity experts. I sought perspectives from local and national media who closely follow women's athletics. What I've learned is that this topic isn't nearly as simple as I thought it might be, and that it certainly can't be addressed in a 140-character tweet. I appreciate you bearing with me today as I share with you background on the thoughts and processes that have led to the actions that Chancellor Davenport and I are proud to announce today. First, for those who don't understand why this was such a big deal to many upset by the 2014 announcement, it's important to try to see this issue through their lens and realize that for some, the Lady Vol name and logo is just as meaningful and sacred as the checkerboard end zones are for others. How would the most passionate Tennessee football fan react to the dramatic diminishment of our checkerboard end zones? What emotions would be felt if the checkerboards were removed from the Inland Stadium? My guess is that they would be similar to the emotions felt these past few years, for instance, by a former Tennessee swimmer who competed with the Lady Vols logo on her swim cap, or a women's golfer who was part of our inaugural Lady Vol team 25 years ago. We will not allow for the Lady Vol brand to disappear from our athletics department of the university. And today, Chancellor Davenport and I reaffirm our commitment to restore the official visibility of the Lady Vol name, logo, and brand. Because I was living and working about 1,000 miles away in 2014, the Lady Vols never really went away from me. And on my second day on the job, as I was chatting on the phone with my wife about my plans for the day, I told her I'm going to the Lady Vols softball game. It was the first of many games I attended at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium this past spring. I love the energy and enthusiasm of the Locos and the interactive Lady Vol chants between our student athletes and fans. And the awesome bag of new official Tennessee apparel our equipment staff gave to me on my first day, I found several pieces of Lady Vol apparel. In fact, my go-to ball cap for my morning jogs in our beautiful downtown this spring was my Nike Lady Vols cap. Several years ago, the Power T became the official mark of our entire campus. Yes, our university has decided on one official mark and brand, but that does not mean that all other brands iconic to our history and tradition must cease to exist. Similarly, while the achievements of our current student athletes are what we focus on today, we'll never stop honoring the legacy of those who were once in that same spotlight our current student athletes now occupy. Over these last 5 or 6 months, a few themes have emerged in regards to how people feel about the decision to dramatically reduce the visibility of the Lady Vol brand. Perhaps the most disconcerting is the impression among some of our most passionate supporters that the history and heritage of the incredible national leadership and accomplishments of UT and women's athletics had been intentionally erased from our department and culture. While I don't believe that was anyone's intent, I understand that the perceived devaluation of the Lady Vol brand caused pain. Throughout the Tennessee nation, I've heard a wide variety of opinions, all of which are heartfelt and in many cases deeply personal and often contradictory. For some, Lady Vols is a brand, not an identification of gender. We sought honest opinion from our current student athletes. They're like other constituencies in that there is no unanimous opinion. Some female student athletes do voice a desire to be known as Lady Vols. Others are vocal about wanting to be Vols, to compete under the same brand as their male counterparts. Some student athletes say they love wearing the Power T, but they want to be called Lady Vols too. Nearly all prefer to just focus on their sports and their studies. We need to respect that, and as people and supporters of Tennessee student athletes, regardless of our personal opinions on the subject, we need to get behind our student athletes and let them go forward in their competitions. As I stated earlier, and unlike my previous tenures at Tennessee, when the old UT logo that incorporated the shape of the state was the official mark of the university, the Power T is now the primary mark, not just of Tennessee athletics, but of our entire campus. It is undeniably our most universally recognized brand image, locally, regionally, and worldwide. I do believe it's important to give our female student athletes the freedom to compete wearing the official brand and logo of their university, while also taking deliberate action to ensure the preservation and celebration of the Lady Vol brand and logo, which has for decades, and still does, possess great meaning and evoke incredible pride among supporters of this university. I'm proud that the University of Tennessee is viewed as a trailblazer and leader of women's athletics. I'm proud to have personally benefited from the mentorship of Joan Currie, a Hall of Fame administrator in intercollegiate athletics, who has provided visionary leadership here for more than 30 years. I'm proud that UT has the highest percentage of female head coaches among all SEC schools. I'm proud that our current director of track and field, Beth Alford Sullivan, is the first woman in the storied history of the Southeastern Conference to serve as a head coach of a male team, because she leads both our men's and women's track and field programs. And I'm proud that our new senior leadership team includes multiple incredibly talented and forward-thinking women who have lead roles in shaping the future of Tennessee athletics. I'm proud of the legacy of the iconic Pat Summitt and consider it a blessing that I was able to work in support of her efforts during my previous UT tenure. She is a true Tennessee treasure. The Women's Basketball Hall of Fame here in Knoxville is here largely because of what she and Lady Vols meant in sport. I will mention at this moment that the Hall celebrates its 20th anniversary next year, and we need to use that occasion to honor Coach Summitt and the Lady Vol legacy of excellence. That legacy of excellence, though, includes all of our women's sports, and names like softball's Monica Abbott, swimmer Catherine Byrne, soccer standout Keely Dowling, and volleyball's Beverly Robinson, among others. We will honor, celebrate, and always remember what these women, along with so many others, accomplished under the Lady Vol banner. Several of our venues already have Lady Vol signage, and others that don't soon will. We will continue to welcome positive, fan-driven support of our student athletes, including Lady Vol chants, like those I love here at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium. We will enable our female teams and student athletes to be referred as Lady Vols and Vols in materials produced by internal departments such as fan experience and media relations. Coaches who wish to refer to their student athletes as Lady Vols are welcome to do so, but it's not a mandate, and we certainly aren't going to take away the Power T from teams and student athletes competing for the University of Tennessee. Our female team's apparel options beginning in 2018-19 will include items featuring the Lady Vol logo and color scheme, and we'll also continue to work to ensure that official campus Vol shops, including the one at Gate 21 in Neyland Stadium, offer more Lady Vol retail items for fans. I mentioned earlier the absence of consensus on this sensitive issue. I'm aware that we won't satisfy everyone regardless of the stance we take. Sports have the unique ability to overpower disunion and unite those whose viewpoints differ. Our vision for Tennessee athletics is to stand as America's model intercollegiate athletics program. I'm sure that those of you who bleed orange share this vision. Whether we cheer for our teams as Vols or Lady Vols, our collective yearning to see them thrive and achieve their dreams can bring us all together. By committing to restore the visibility of the Lady Vol brand and showing it the reverence it deserves, our Tennessee family can move forward, more united, to blaze new trails of excellence. I'll be happy to entertain any questions.
John, what was finally the tipping point on this that got you to this day?
Well, this day has really not been a day. It's been a process and a thoughtful process. And when the chancellor sat at my breakfast table back in Manhattan, and she talked about this as one of the issues that we had to figure out the right way to go forward. And I'm really pleased that we've been able to have excellent conversations with lots and lots of people and arrive at a moment that we can move forward together.
just want to clarify, so this will take effect the next school year, 2018-19, and will this make the official nickname for all the women's sports Lady Vols, or is that?
Well, we're the Tennessee Volunteers, the University of Tennessee, 27,000 students. What we're saying is that our student athletes and our coaches have the freedom to refer to themselves as Lady Vols. And some of our student athletes don't necessarily want to do that, right? So for instance, our student athletes can choose if they want their senior ring to have a Lady Vol insignia on it instead of a Power T. They certainly can do that. And I think you'll see great recognition of the Lady Vol brand and logos in our facilities. I was at the Aquatic Center the other day with my daughter. I'm trying to get her interested in diving, and there's already Lady Vol banners. They never came down in the Intercollegiate Aquatic Center. There's Lady Vol signs in a lot of other facilities, and you'll see more. Mike.
John, you said previously that you would leave it up to the teams as far as uniform selections. Now, will any of the Lady Vols or female athletic teams, could they still go by Vols, or will they all be Lady Vols on their uniforms?
Well, I think our uniforms, most of our uniforms say Tennessee, and that's what will continue to be. Tennessee and the Power T continue to be the official symbol of the University of Tennessee, and that might be the most standard uniform. But in terms of our student athletes, our student athletes talked about wanting to be able to say, put their hands in the circle and say, "Go Lady Vols," when they run out on the field, on the court, and they should be able to do that.
John, how much, in talking to the current athletes, how much of that was a factor in this process, getting their input and finding out what they felt about this?
Well, certainly our student athletes are at the center of everything that we do. And as we went forward, deliberately, we really wanted to make sure that we were thorough in considering all the different perspectives. And there are lots of different perspectives. Ultimately, as I said earlier, there might be unanimity among certain groups, but there's not unanimity across the board. And so we think this is a great way to recognize and acknowledge and restore the visibility of our Lady Vol brand and move forward and give our student athletes the ability to express themselves as Lady Vols.
So when it comes to uniforms, will there be any chance, say, that the softball team wanted to wear a Lady Vols alternate or something along those lines? Or will it stick with that classic Tennessee Power T look?
I suppose we might see some stuff like that.
And to clear that up, if we did see stuff like that, that's in 2018-19, that academic year?
Well, we're always at like 16 months ahead on uniforms and things like that, so that's correct. But, you might go out to the Mercedes-Benz Intercollegiate Golf Tournament at Cherokee Country Club on Monday and Tuesday, and you might see our golf team wearing Lady Vol caps with a Power T on their shirt. So the most important thing here is that we're moving forward.
What impact, if any, does this have on the Nike deal and the extension? Any impact?
Well, Nike is a great partner for the University of Tennessee. We have great relationships. Obviously, we've communicated and had a dialogue, and this has no negative bearing on that partnership.
Any more questions? Very good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Chancellor will be available next up on the side.
Say it. You said it better now. How are you doing? Better.